Alright folks, what we got here is a Honda Civic with a 1.6. We're going to change the thermostat. The thermostat is located right before the lower radiator hose, not the upper. Okay, you would think that it's this one over here, but it's actually the lower one. Okay, this part here is attached to a lower hose. This has two bolts to bolt it onto the engine. Okay, now to get to it, all right, there's two outside bolts over here for a bracket. That's this bracket right here. Unbolt it, put it off to the side. It's a 10 millimeter. Then there's two other bolts over here that are 10 millimeter, and that will take this housing off. Besides the clamp you took off when you did the lower radiator hose. If you haven't changed the lower radiator hose, it's a good time to change it now. Okay. Now the upper radiator hose, it actually sits in the way, blocking this bolt here. Can you get around to it? Yes, you can. But if the car is old enough, change the hoses, upper and lower. Okay? I cut that hose, got a new replacement right here. Gives you more room. Okay, you don't have to take the air cleaner off. I took that off because I'm going to do the heater hoses. But that's a different story. Alright, 10 millimeter bolt takes the bracket off. 2 10 millimeters takes the housing off. Give it a little tap, and the little bugger will come right out. Okay, the new one I'm going to use is a Duralast Gold. This is the thermostat here, and there's a thermostat seal. The seal is this little rubber piece right here, because the thermostat does not come with the seal or the gasket, I guess you will call it. Okay, now if you notice, the gasket has a little cutout. Okay, that cutout is for this bleeder. Okay, on the factory one, I'm going to show you what the factory one is. This one has the bleeder on the bottom, but there's still a reason why you have to put this towards the bleeder, because there's two notches up here that line up with the cylinder head, and they have to line up straight so that the bleeder valve points straight up. Let's take this one out here. Okay, this one I'm going to assume is the original one. See, this one has a notch for the bleeder valve. Okay, the replacement one does not have that. So the notch is designed there so that, look, see where the two little tabs are? These little tabs are going to line up with two little tabs in here. Let's let me show it to you. Okay, two little tabs in there so that this thing lines up perfectly, and this is going to be at the 12 o'clock position. So this one here, even though the little the relief valve is not up on top of this design, I'm still going to make it 12 o'clock, which is exactly in the middle of these two little tabs here. Okay, so make sure that when you put this on, it is at 12 o'clock and it's between the two tabs. All right, so it's going to go in here like this. It's going to fall right in because those two little tabs are going to line up in there. Okay, after that, you can put your two 10 millimeter bolts back on. The other two 10 millimeter bolts for the bracket. Replaces the hoses with new clamps. Like I said, fill up with antifreeze, let it run, and you are good to go. Alright, this is the thermostat that I used, 15188DLG, and this is the gasket that they sold me. Velcro is 35734. Alright, like I said, very important. Make sure that this piece here is at the 12 o'clock position in between the two little tabs. Okay, because air bubbles travel up to the top, and that's why it has to be up. If you install it this way, you might have a little problem getting some of the air out. Okay, straight up 12 o'clock, people. All right, thanks for watching. Ciao. There you go, there's the finished product with the lower hose, and that's the two 10 millimeter bolts for this bracket that I told you about. Okay, you don't have to unplug anything, it just moves out of the way. It's good enough. All right, that's it.